Good day, students. I will be recording for statistics for accountants 1. And the statistics for accountants 1 subject has a topic called contingency table. And it's a very, very interesting way of testing students' intelligence from a statistical point of view. We have this example 6.1. It says in a certain production lot, 40% of the toys are red. And it is always very important for you to be able to identify the two categories in any scenario that you are provided for a contingency table. So they are telling us that 40% of the toys, they are red. That means there are other toys that are another color, and the remaining of the toys are green. So they are telling us that the remaining of the toys, they are green. So now in this case, we deal with the red and we deal with the green category of the toys. So now we can have these two categories and say red, then after we say green, then after we say total, because red and green will give us the total. But there's still another one that is still left. We'll say as we read. It says that if 60% of the toys are small, take note now of these red toys and green toys, others are small. And if there are those that are small, it is very likely that others will be large. Let us just read further. And 20% of them are red, meaning 20% of the small toys, which are 60%, 20% of those toys are red. Then the question says, then how many toys are red and large? That means now we have small, we have large, we have red, and we have green. That means we can have green toys that are large, we can have green toys that are small, we can have red toys that are small and red toys that are large. So now that is very important to note. So now in that case, that means the other side of our category will be small and large. Then after we have the total, small and large. Then after we have a total, and from there you can draw your lines in between there. You'll see that this will end up being a table. Our intention was not to draw a table, but we end up drawing a table. It will always be something that look like this. This is how always your table of contingent table will look like all the time. So now they have told us that we have toys that are red and others that are green. We have those that are small, probably small and red, and small and green. That become their total. We can have large red and large green, and that become the total. And the total of the red, small and red green will give us total red toys. And the total of the green, small, and green large will give us the total of the toys that are green, a combination of those that are green and they are small, and those that are green and they are large. So now this is the info that we have. Now let me analyze again from the beginning. It says in a certain production lot, 40% of the toys are red. Now we look at red, we say total of the toys, which is 40% of them, they are red. They don't say which ones out of the red are large or small. They are just telling us that 40% of the toys are red, meaning total toys that are red are 40%. If 40% are red, that means 60% are green. And in the case where you deal with percentages, then that means your total percent will be 100%. And always you will not be given all the explanation or all the percentages or all the amounts. They will give you one amount then you must find the other amount. Meaning in the case of a percentage, if 40% are red and our total percentage is 100%, meaning total of those that are red, green, small and large is 100%, and therefore now if 40% are red, then 60% are to be obviously green, because we only have two colors, unless we had three colors, but you are normally given only two categories of information, not three categories. But even if it can be three categories, you'll have to work yourself out of the information given to you. Now they say 40% of the toys are red and the remaining are green. Even if this was not specified, then we'll know that we only have red and green, then the remainder will definitely have to be green. Then now it further say that if 60% of the toys are small, take note, it says if 60% of the toys are small. Which toys? They did not say red or green, they just said if 60% of the toys are small. Meaning now 60% of the toys are small, this is small, therefore now total of the toys, 60% of them are small. So now if 60% of these toys are small, that means 40% of these toys are large, obviously, because we only have two colors in this case. We only have two sizes in this case, small and large. If 60% is small, then the remainder will be large. So now you see we've already covered other dimensions with the legal information that we have. And it says, and take note, and 20% of them, which are them? 20% of the small toys are red, meaning 20% of the 60%, they are red. So now 20% of the 60%, because it is very clear, 20% of them, which them? 20% of that 60%, which is small. Remember, they said 60% are small. 20% of this is red. Then obviously the 80% will be green. So now let us calculate the 20% of the 60%. In the case where you are to multiply a percentage by percentage, you must change one of them to be a decimal. We say 60 times by 0.2. That means 12% of them are red. That means 12% of the 60%, which is 20% in other words. I want to make that very clear. They said 20% of the 60%, meaning 20% of the 60%. And 20% of the 60% is 12%. We have done that by saying 20% times by 0.6, which is 12%. Then obviously now we have to say the remainder, which is 80%, will be green. So now we can say 0.8 times by 60. This will give us 48% of them are green. Remember, they do not give us the 40%. Sorry, the 48%, which are the green ones, or the 80%, which are the green one. So now that means if we say now 48 minus 60, you can see we get 12. At the same time, we could have said 12 minus 60, that was going to give us 48. Very easy. We could have done that without having to say, oh, 80%. That would still have been an easy way. And remember, I'm saying we could have said 60 minus 12, that will give us the 48% that are green. So immediately at this point in time, you are done with your contingent table. How are you done with it? It's because you can just subtract the number that you have to get what is missing. Remember, we say red is quite small plus large will give us 40%. So we are looking for the missing one, which is the large one. It will be 40 minus 12. That means we get 28%. Therefore, now in this case, 28% will be large. And again, we say 60 under the red minus 48. That means this will give us 12%. So that means 12% of the toys are green and large, and 28% of the toys are red and large. Now take note of that. We have 12% of the toys that are green and large, and 28% of the toys are red and large. So very important to read that information in that manner. Now we are to respond to what was required. The requirement said to us that then how many toys are red and large? How many toys are red and large? That means we are looking for the number of toys that are at this 28%. How many toys are red and large? If 60 toys are green and large, if 60 toys are green and large, they say 60 toys are green and large. That means this 12% in terms of the number of toys, it is 60 toys. If 60 toys are green and large, how many toys are then large and red? So now that is where our focus is. First of all, how did we get to this 60 toys? For us to get to the 60 toys, we would have said we are looking for, first of all, the green and large. J plus L, green and large. We would have said the percentage of the green and large, which is 12%. That means we would have said 12% times by total toys. Let me do it like that. 12% times by total toys is equal to 60 toys. What are we looking for? For the green toys that are green and large. Meaning we said of the total toys that we don't know, multiply this by 12%, that would have given us 60 toys that are green and large. So now what are we looking for? We need to look for the total number of toys that were multiplied in order for us to get to the total toys that we had, which were multiplied by green and large. Remember, there was a number here that we don't know. There was a number here, and a number of these toys is what we don't know, but also there is a number here and there's also a number here, but what we're looking for, it is the total toys. So now we continue on that note. We'll say total will be equal, let me not use that one, it will be divide by 12%. 12% cancel 12%, and we divide here by 12%. Remember, that is 0.2. Then our total toys will be equal to 60 divided by 12%. It will be 60 divided by 12%. Meaning in total we had a total of 500 toys. In that case, that means we said 500 times by 12%, and we discover that if we multiply that by 12%, we then know that those that are green and large are 12%. Remember, we multiply by the percentage of those that are green and large. So that is where that 500 by 12 was multiplied in order for us to get to the 60 toys that are green and large. So now that's where this 500 came from. So that means our total toys are 500, but we are looking for the toys that are red and large. They said how many toys are red and large. So now how much is the percentage of red and large? This is the percentage of red and large. Red and large, 28%. That means 28% of the 500 toys are red and large. So we say red plus large will be equal to 500 times this by 28%. 500 times by 28%. It will give us 500 times by 28 by 28.28, we get 140. That means we have 140 toys that are red and large. So this is the answer that they needed. It is very important to know that a percentage is multiplied by the total number of toys in order for us to get to the number of toys that are either red and large in this case. So now hence we start by say total toys multiply this by 12% is equal to 60, because they told us that 60 toys are green and large. That means we said total toys times by the percentage of those that are green and large, that gave us 60. So what are we looking for is the total toys that was multiplied by 12% in order to get to the number of toys that are green and large. So now hence we say divide by 0.12. Remember that, divide by 0.12, then the total toys will be 500, of which 12% of those toys are green and large, and that 12% of them that are green and large, it is the one that is total 60. Therefore now we say the 500 multiply this by 28%, meaning by those that are red and large. Therefore now it means it is 140 toys that are red and large. Yes, thank you guys very much. This is the first question on the contingent table. Very important to master this because it always comes out in any assessment. You'll obviously be given a different scenario of the contingent table. Thank you guys very much. Lovely.